Welcome to another episode, everyone. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Let me take you back to YTS, Youth Training School, CYA, California Youth Authority, where I did in excess of 4 years. And the Hoovers, my own gang, they wanted me dead by poison. They tried to get my own cellie to poison me. Now, we're talking about wannabe number one and wannabe number two. These individuals were indeed wannabes, and it did not end well for them. And this is only, I should tell you now, part one of the Hoovers trying to delete me, Damian Porter. There in YTS, my own gang turned on me and betrayed me. I really should not say that. It was really just these two individuals who ended up catching hell. They hit YTS essentially together. I had already been there for some time. I was, I believe, on the most violent unit there in YTS, that being K&L. M&N was also a very violent unit. And they called YTS Gladiator School for good reason. You had to get your dukes up in there and learn how to fight if you did not know how to, and you were going to be tested. Your mettle was going to be tested on a constant basis there in YTS. Enter my cellie, who we're going to have to call Cupcake, because they put this individual up to it. Now, Cupcake, I knew from the street. And even on the street, he was really a soft individual. He was named after one of the big homies who was a real reputable in the hood. In fact, he had been deleted, the big homie. He had been killed by another homie who happened to be in YTS at the time on M&N. I'm on K&L. M&N is right across from K&L. Up. Now, that really has nothing to do with it, but that really just came to me, how ironic that is. So this dude that's in the cell with me took after the name of the homie, again, who had been killed. But he was an OG, well-loved and well-respected. But this dude was not. I knew him slightly from the street. I just remember us hanging out one time in the territory, and the homie socking this dude. We all hanging out, whatever happened. The homie just fired on him. Bam! Reminds me of one of the times my big bro, we was all standing out there, and he just started socking the homie. Said, it's time to separate the men from the boys, and just started socking the homie. I mean, this shit is crazy, man. This is how it go. People want to test you. They want to see what you about. The homie fired on this clown. Bam! And he just standing there. And the homie telling me, fight, you better fight back. He's like, I am. I'm about to. I was about to. And the homie hit him again. Bam, bam, shut up, and dropped him. You wasn't finna do nothing. Shut up. And I said, oh my God, this is disgusting. Nevertheless, when he hit YTS, this was a few years later, he had grown up some, and I'm thinking perhaps he has changed a little bit. I knew him and I knew his family somewhat, so I let him in the cell with me. See if I can tighten up his program just a little bit. Plus, if I'm being honest, I had eyes on his sister. That was part of the reason I let him in the cell to see what had been going on with her since we had last saw each other. He gets in the cell, and he is certainly a cupcake. He's tiptoeing around the cell. He's scared to speak up for himself. I'm telling him, bro, if you got a problem with anything going on in the cell, gotta speak up. I'm trying to toughen him up and tighten him up because I'm thinking these dudes outside of this cell are going to eat him up. They're going to eat him alive. There's some real hitters here. We're all young, but these dudes are still some hitters. And I know this. This dude is not that. He's not one of them guys. Nevertheless, I'm thinking I can tighten him up some. He's claiming my same gang. He is from the gang, but he's just a real soft individual from the gang, and he's not respected at all in the turf. The same is going to transfer here to YTS. You're not going to be respected, bro. You have to tighten up. Somebody get at you, you got to punch him in the mouth. This is what I'm telling him inside of the cell. He begins to get it in. That Snoop Dogg. He bringing it in. He's in the cell with me, so of course he's looking out for me. Now, I started writing his sister right there in the cell. Her and I are communicating. She come to visit him, my mother, little brother, sister, and all them. They come visit me. We out there, and I end up talking to her sister out there in the visitor. We start communicating, etc. So now I really feel obligated to have this individual's back. And perhaps he knew what he was doing from the beginning. Even his sister knew that he was soft. Even his sister said, bro, make sure you look out for my little brother in there. You know he ain't about that life. His sister told me that. She knows. I'm going to do what I can. But now he's getting it in, and he's looking out for me. He's looking out for other homies as well, of course. Many people up there had to sack in YTS. We were young, but we were getting it in. We had it. The police was bringing it in to us. We had everything. So for the most part, no one is up there starving, broke, and need to, press anyone to get more of anything. Everyone has their own, except the two wannabes. They're wannabes because they have not been confirmed. They are not really from the hood. And you may wonder, well, why keep these individuals around? This happens there in prison, the county jail, YA, or what have you, where individuals who are not official will still be welcomed into a car to do the car's bidding, to do the dirty work. Hold the knives, stab someone, beat up someone, do what we tell you to do. Hold the narcotics. Keep a lookout over here. Keep a lookout over there. Cook all of the food, etc. Buy all of the food. Whatever they have, they serve a purpose. But we all know who these individuals are, that they're not really one of us. But we're just going to embrace them as such or pretend for them to carry out the duties that we put upon them. Such was the case with these two individuals, wannabe number one and wannabe number two, who are in the cell together. And so, to move the story along, they begin to press my celly Cupcake for more product, the nerve, the gall of these individuals. You two are wannabes yourself. You're not even from the hood. We're just keeping you around to serve our purpose. And you know this. How dare you press my celly, though he is indeed of the hostess variety. He is indeed a cupcake, a honey bun, a ding dong, and everyone knows it. That's the problem. So even though these dudes are soft themselves, they press him for some more product. My celly Cupcake, he comes in and tells me about it. I said, well, what did you say, bro? What did you tell him? They were right there in the day room. He said, I told him, basically, they got to holler at you. They got to ask you, like I'm giving it to you, it's yours. I'm like, oh my God, you threw me under the bus. Why you tell me, why you put me in it? Why you put I don't really care. But bro, you got to stand up. What are you talking about? You should have punched one of them in the mouth. This is what I'm talking about. You can allow this. So I said, okay, I'll help you out. So I approached wannabe number one and wannabe number two. And I explained to these individuals that this was not going to transpire, that whatever my cellie was giving them was going to have to suffice, that was it. You dudes are nobody. You better kick back and be happy that you're getting anything and don't say anything else out of pocket to my cellie. Their response to this, long story short, they began to cultivate sinister machinations. Want to be number one and want to be number two. Somehow they came to the conclusion that getting rid of me would rid them of their problem. They somehow approached my cellie and tried to convince this individual to poison me, to put something in my food there inside of the cell and take me out. Now, according to them, they just wanted to sicken me, send me to the hospital. This is according to my cellie. I come across this information because I'm sitting inside of the cell and things began to seem a bit off. The individual inside of the cell, Cupcake, all of a sudden is non-approachable. He's standoffish, reticent. I'm wondering, what is it with this individual? I just stood up for you to these two dudes. You know this. What's with the silent treatment and what's going on? He's looking nervous inside of the cell and such. So finally, I asked him, man, what's going on, bro? He's like, man, nothing, man. These dudes basically tell me they still tripping. I said, they still tripping now. All he had to do in that moment was tell me what happened, that they are still pressing him, and I would have handled the situation from there. But that's not what happened. All he said was, man, they still tripping, but he wouldn't say much more. Now, as another day or so passed by inside of the cell, as I'm in there cooking my food, I see him really looking nervous, eyes darting. Now, nothing is really registering with me at this time. I'm not thinking this dude has the unmitigated gall, the temerity, the unfettered audacity to do something to me. Hell, I just saved him. And so I asked him again, bro, what's up with you? What's your problem, man? Why you in here acting weird, bro? And he like, man, I said, man, sit down. You know, right there on my bed. I told him, sit down. But what's up, bro? You better tell me what's up right now, because now he's making me nervous. And then he finally admits to me that wannabe number one and wannabe number two have pressed him again and told him that I was the one that put them on him, that I wanted them to rob him, to beat him, etc. They've put this in his head because since I stood up for him, when I approached these two individuals, they said, oh, okay, we're going to throw you under the bus. We're going to tell your cellie that it wasn't us trying to rob him, that you put us up to it. He going to believe it. And he said, my cellie, Cupcake, that they said, basically, bro, they wanted me to poison you, to put something inside of your food. I said, what? Poison me? Like with some Visine or something. some kind of trick they had, something they didn't looked up or studied. My son, he was taking medication. Probably wanted him to crunch up some pills or something, throw in there. Something he said they wanted him to put inside of my food. And apparently he was contemplating this whole thing because he's acting real nervous when I'm cooking my food. This is what put me on to him the second time, to where I told him, you about to let me know what the hell's going on right now. Something's not right with this individual. I'm observing the situation. I said, bro, and so what were you going to do? Why would they want you to poison me? They said, bro, he said, well, just to sicken you, because he said, or they said that it was you that was trying to get me robbed. It was you that was bullying me behind the scenes and pressing the line on them, basically, bro, and just basically, it'd be better if you were out of the way. And I said, so what were you going to do? Because these dudes not even from the hood, bro. You understand that, right? He's like, I know, because we didn't have these conversations inside the cell about want to be number one and want to be number two. When they first pressed him, I said, man, these dudes ain't from the hood. You ain't got to go for that. You should have punched one of them in the mouth. Now you're going to turn on me? I stood up for you. So I said, bro, so what was you going to do? Did you really think I was trying to rob you? I was going to betray you? I have betrayed you. I put them up to this. When I'm the one that stood up for you and told you you should have assaulted one of them when they tried it. And he just basically said that he didn't know what to do. No, bro, I wasn't going to do that. I just didn't know what to do, bro. I didn't know what to believe. So I punched on him a couple of times in the cell. Bam, bam, bam. And I dropped him because I believed that he was indeed about to try to poison me. I believed that because of how nervous he was acting inside of the cell when I began to cook up my spread. But now I am indeed in an uproar. I am incensed, outraged. I'm turning red inside of the cell, walking back and forth, pacing like a caged bull. And I'm pondering this whole occurrence. And I'm thinking, wow, the gall of these individuals. I didn't even press them like that. I could have hurt them or had them hurt when they were pressing my celly. Instead, I just told them bag up off of them. That's it. I'm messing with his sister, bro. It's a little homie. He was a little homie. He was just soft. And y'all not finna be pushing the line on another Hoover like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? What he giving y'all is what he giving y'all, bro. Go press somebody else. Go press them dudes. They got a sack. Go press them. What are y'all talking about? Y'all ain't nobody. They just bowed it down. All right, bro. But the whole time, they didn't try to convince this dude, these wannabes, to take me out. So I said, well, there's only one thing to do. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. Well, let's see. I had my little soldier there. This was the big one. I was way younger than him, Lil Duck. Rest in peace. Ended up getting killed in Long Beach at a party. Not long after he got out from YTS. This is Big Duck from Lemon Deuce Hoover's brother. Baby Duck, rest in peace as well. And these are all extremely reputable individuals over there. All of the Ducks. And he was there, and he had a personal soft spot for me in his heart. And I knew this. And there are quite a few other individuals there. I'll get into that in part 2. But the first one I hollered at was Lil Duck. And because I knew how he was going to take this. And I sent him a kite and I explained the whole thing to him. And he said, "What?" I said, "Yeah. These dudes tried to poison me. Bro, they tried to kill me." So ducking myself and others, plotted a revenge strategy, plotted a response, an immediate response to this assault upon my character and my life. And in part two, I'll let you know how the situation with these individuals was rectified. With the individuals who tried to take out the big fella. Your boy, DP. They did. This is for real. I might even give you the name of Cupcake in part two, because I'm ready to say it now, because I can't believe this still. He denies it that he was ever going to poison my food or even attempt to. But I believe to this day that even that day, he was really lurking, nervous and all, because he was about to try to do something. These individuals had convinced him that I had turned on him, that I was the culprit. He, being soft, docile, and easily influenced, fell for it. He took the bait. I punched on him, dropped him to the floor. He was begging for mercy and forgiveness. But I had bigger fish to fry. The individuals who wanted me dead and out of the way felt like their life would be easier with me gone in the hospital or somewhere. It didn't turn out like that. Rest in peace to Lil Duck. Part two coming. Stay safe and stay free, people.